So for my film, I've chosen Big Time Adolescence, which was released in 2019. And for my study, I chose psychoanalysis, which is the study of kind of like the film's unconscious nature. So kind of how the characters act within the film. And I specifically chose to study Pete Davidson's character Zeke and his mental health and how he struggles to grow up throughout the film. The film's about a 16-year-old kid named Mo who's best friends with Pete Davidson's character Zeke, who was his older sister's ex-boyfriend. And Zeke isn't a very good influence to him, though Mo looks up to him, and that's the narrative the film goes in. My thesis is that Pete Davidson's character is struggling with change throughout the film and is having trouble growing up and becoming a responsible adult. I found multiple articles that had syndromes similar to what Zeke was experiencing throughout the film, such as Peter Pan syndrome, which is the fear of growing up, very similar to Peter Pan's own words, "I'll never grow up." For the scene I've chosen as a representation of this, I chose the scene of him and his friend Mo in the art museum.
Yeah, it sort of just looks like a bunch of scribbles and dicks on a blank canvas.
Yeah. When you get older, you realize that's kind of all life is. It's just a bunch of scribbles and dicks and violence all in a void.
But there's more to life than, like, scribbles and dicks.
No, there isn't.
Zeke tries to infer to Mo that there's nothing more to life than scribbles and dicks, and it insinuates the feelings that Zeke is feeling internally and not presenting to Mo, because to Mo, he just tries to portray himself as this fun, cool guy that he wants him to look up to, but what Zeke lacks is the ability to help Mo grow, because he can't grow himself, and that's what the art museum represents in the film. Zeke struggles with the idea of moving on throughout the film, not just with his life and his career, but with his past, such as the mourning of his grandmother, whose house he currently lives in throughout the film, and his ex-girlfriend Kate, who was Mo's sister. And even though he has a new girlfriend named Holly, he doesn't see a future with her when she asks about starting a family eventually. And he doesn't see really himself starting a future at all, which puts conflict on him and others around him. And towards the end of the film, Mo gets in trouble for selling drugs at a party that Zeke had bought for him to sell so that he'd gain some sort of reputation and be seen as a cool kid around school, not really taking into the risks that could go into Mo's academics and his future by doing so, and not really looking into the risks of an underage child being in possession of those drugs, which is a felony. So Zeke does offer to step in and take the fall for Mo, considering he blames himself for it, but Mo doesn't let him, only because Mo wants to mature himself, which allows Mo to grow and even move past being friends with Zeke so he can focus on himself. That ultimately leaves Zeke in the exact same place he had started when the film begun, thus not really changing his character much and showing a pretty accurate portrayal of the cycle of depression, how one can almost see their way out and see what they need to do to break that cycle, but will go back into it because it's just so used to them and it's what they know and it's easier for them to deal with.